Hear the word which Yahweh speaks to you, house of Israel. Yahweh says, don't learn the way of the nation, and don't be dismayed at the signs of the sky, for the nations are dismayed at them, for the customs of the people are vanity, for one cuts a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, so that it can't move. They are like a palm tree of turned work, and don't speak. They must be carried, because they can't move. Don't be afraid of them, for they can't do evil. Neither is it in them to do good. There is no one like you, Yahweh. You are great, and your name is great in might. Who should fear you, King of the nations? For it belongs to you, because among them all the royal estate, there is no one like you. But they are together brutish and foolish, instructed by idols. It is just wood. There is silver beaten into plates which is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz, the work of the engraver, and of the hand of the goldsmith. Their clothing is blue and purple. They are all the work of skillful men. But Yahweh is the true God. He is the living God, and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth trembles. The nations aren't able to withstand his indignation. You shall say this to them: the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth will perish from the earth and from under the heavens. God has made the earth by his power. He has established the world by his wisdom, and by his understanding has he stretched out the heavens. When he hears his voice, the waters in the heavens roar, and he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightnings from the rain, and brings out the wind from his treasuries. Every man has become brutish and without knowledge. Every goldsmith is disappointed by his engraven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, a work of delusion. In the time of their visitation they will perish. The portion of Jacob is not like these, for he is the maker of all things, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. Yahweh of armies is his name. Gather up your wares out of the land, you who live under siege. For Yahweh says, behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this time, and will distress them, that they may feel it. Woe is me because of my injury, my wound is serious. But I said, truly this grief is my grief, and I must bear it. My tent has been destroyed, and all my cords are broken. My children have gone away from me, and they are no more. There is no one to spread my tent any more, to set up my curtains, for the shepherds have become brutish, and have not inquired of Yahweh. Therefore they have not prospered, and all their flocks have scattered. The voice of news, behold, it comes, and with a great commotion out of the north country, to make the cities of Judah a desolation, a dwelling place of jackals. Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man who walks to direct his steps. Yahweh, correct me, but gently, not in your anger, lest you reduce me to nothing. Pour out your wrath on the nations that don't know you, and on the families that don't call on your name, for they have devoured Jacob. Yes, they have devoured him, consumed him, and have laid waste to his habitation. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, Hear the words of this covenant, and speak to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and say to them, Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, Cursed is the man who doesn't hear the words of this covenant, which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the iron furnace, saying, Obey my voice, and do them according to all which I command you. You shall be my people, and I will be your God, that I may establish the oath which I swore to your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is today. Then I answered and said, Amen, Yahweh. Yahweh said to me, Proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, Hear the words of this covenant and do them. For I earnestly protested to your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt, even to this day, rising early and protesting, saying, Obey my voice. Yet they didn't obey, nor turn by their ear, but everyone walked in the stubbornness of their evil heart. Therefore I brought on them all the words of this covenant which I commanded them to do. But they didn't do them. Yahweh said to me, A conspiracy is found among the men of Judah, and among the inhabitants of Judah. They have turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, who refused to hear my words. They have gone after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant which I made with their fathers. Therefore Yahweh says, Behold, I will bring evil on them, which they will not be able to escape, and they will cry to me, but I will not listen to them. Then the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem will go and cry to the other gods, to which they offer incense, but they will not save them at all in the time of their trouble. For, according to the number of your cities are your gods, Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem you have set up altars to the shameful thing, even altars to burn incense to Baal. Therefore, don't pray for this people. Don't lift up a cry or a prayer for them. For I will not hear them in the time that they cry to me because of their trouble. What has my beloved to do in my house, since she has behaved lewdly with many, and the holy flesh has passed from you? When you do evil, then you rejoice. Yahweh called your name a green olive tree, beautiful with goodly fruit. With the noise of a great roar he has kindled fire on it, and its branches are broken. For Yahweh of armies, who planted you, has pronounced evil against you, because of the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, which they have done to themselves in provoking me to anger, by offering incense to Baal. Yahweh gave me knowledge of it, and I knew it. Then you showed me their doings. But I was like a gentle lamb that is led to the slaughter. I didn't know that they devised plans against me, saying, Let's destroy the tree with its fruit, and let's cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be remembered no more. But Yahweh of armies, who judges righteously, who tests the heart and the mind, I will see your vengeance on them, for to you I have revealed my cause. Therefore Yahweh says concerning the men of Anathoth, who seek your life, saying, You shall not prophesy in Yahweh's name, that you not die by our hand. Therefore Yahweh of armies says, Behold, I will punish them. The young men will die by the sword. Their sons and their daughters will die by famine. There will be no remnant for them. For I will bring evil on the men of Anathoth, even the year of their visitation. You are righteous, Yahweh, when I contend with you. Yet I would like to plead a case with you. Why does the way of the wicked prosper? Why are they all at ease who deal very treacherously? You have planted them. Yes, they have taken root. They grow. Yes, they produce fruit. You are near in their mouth and far from their heart. But you, Yahweh, know me. You see me and test my heart toward you. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter, and prepare them for the day of slaughter. How long will the land mourn, and the herbs of the whole country wither, because of the wickedness of those who dwell therein? The animals and the birds are consumed, because they said, He won't see our latter end. If you have run with the footmen, and they have wearied you, then how can you contend with horses? Though in a land of peace you are secure, yet how will you do in the pride of the Jordan? For even your brothers and the house of your father, even they have dealt treacherously with you. Even they have cried aloud after you. Don't believe them, though they speak beautiful words to you. I have forsaken my house. I have cast off my heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies. My heritage has become to me as a lion in the forest. She has uttered her voice against me. Therefore I have hated her. Is my heritage to me as a speckled bird of prey? Are the birds of prey against her all around? Go assemble all the animals of the field. Bring them to devour. Many shepherds have destroyed my vineyard. They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness. They have made it a desolation. It mourns to me being desolate. The whole land is made desolate, because no one cares. Destroyers have come on the bare heights of the wilderness, for the sword of Yahweh devours from one end of the land even to the other end of the land. No flesh has peace. They have sown wheat and have reaped thorns. They have exhausted themselves and profit nothing. You will be ashamed of your fruits because of Yahweh's fierce anger. Yahweh says, concerning all my evil neighbors who touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit, behold, I will pluck them up from off their land. I will pluck up the house of Judah from among them. It will happen that after I have plucked them up, I will return and have compassion on them. I will bring them again, every man to his heritage, and every man to his land. It will happen, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, as Yahweh lives, even as they taught my people to swear by Baal, that they will be built up in the middle of my people. But if they will not hear, then I will pluck up that nation, plucking up and destroying it, says Yahweh. Yahweh said to me, Go and buy yourself a linen belt, and put it on your waist, and don't put it in water. So I bought a belt according to Yahweh's word, and put it on my waist. Yahweh's word came to me a second time, saying, Take the belt that you have brought which is on your waist, and arise, go to the Euphrates, and hide it there in a cleft of the rock. So I went and hid it by the Euphrates, as Yahweh commanded me. After many days, Yahweh said to me, Arise, go to the Euphrates, and take the belt from there which I commanded you to hide there. Then I went to the Euphrates, and dug and took the belt from the place where I had hidden it. And behold, the belt was ruined, it was profitable for nothing. Then Yahweh's word came to me, saying, Yahweh says, In this way I will ruin the pride of Judah, and the great pride of Jerusalem. This evil people, who refuse to hear my words, who walk in the stubbornness of their heart, and have gone after other gods to serve them and to worship them, will even be as this belt, which is profitable for nothing. For as this belt clings to the waist of a man, so I have caused the whole house of Israel and the whole house of Judah to cling to me, says Yahweh, that they may be to me for a people, for a name, for praise and for glory. But they would not hear. Therefore you shall speak to them this word. Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, Every container should be filled with wine. They will tell you, Do we not certainly know that every container should be filled with wine? Then tell them, Yahweh says, Behold, I will fill all the inhabitants of this land, even the kings who sit on David's throne, the priests, the prophets, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, with drunkenness. I will dash them, one against another, even the fathers and the sons together, says Yahweh. I will not pity, spare, or have compassion, that I should not destroy them. Hear and give ear. Don't be proud, for Yahweh has spoken. Give glory to Yahweh your God, before he causes darkness, and before your feet stumble on the dark mountains. And while you look for light, he turns it into the shadow of death, and makes it deep darkness. But if you will not hear it, my soul will weep in secret for your pride. My eye will weep bitterly and run down with tears, because Yahweh's flock has been taken captive. Say to the king and to the queen mother, Humble yourself. Sit down, for your crowns have come down, even the crown of your glory. The cities of the south are shut up, and there is no one to open them. Judah is carried away captive, all of them. They are wholly carried away captive. Lift up your eyes and see those who come from the north. Where is the flock that was given to you, your beautiful flock? What will you say when he sets over you as head those whom you yourself have taught to be friends with you? Won't sorrow take hold of you as of a woman in travail? If you say in your heart, Why have these things come on me? Your skirts are uncovered because of the greatness of your iniquity, and your heels suffer violence. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may you also do good, who are accustomed to do evil. Therefore I will scatter them as the stubble that passes away, by the wind of the wilderness. This is your lot, the portion measured to you from me, says Yahweh, because you have forgotten me and trusted in falsehood. Therefore I will also uncover your skirts on your face, and your shame will appear. I have seen your abominations, even your adulteries, and your neighing and the lewdness of your prostitution, on the hills in the field. Woe to you, Jerusalem! You will not be made clean. How long will it yet be? This is Yahweh's word that came to Jeremiah concerning the drought. Judah mourns, and its gates languish. They sit in black on the ground. The cry of Jerusalem goes up. Their nobles send their little ones to the waters. They come to the cisterns and find no water. They return with their vessels empty. They are disappointed and confounded and cover their heads because of the ground which is cracked, because no rain has been in the land. The ploughmen are disappointed. They cover their heads. Yes, the doe in the field also calves and forsakes her young, because there is no grass. The wild donkeys stand on the bare heights. They pant for air like jackals. Their eyes fail because there is no vegetation. Though our iniquities testify against us, work for your name's sake, Yahweh, for our rebellions are many. We have sinned against you. You hope of Israel, its saviour in the time of trouble. Why should you be as a foreigner in the land, and as a wayfaring man who turns aside to stay for a night? Why should you be like a scared man, as a mighty man who can't save us? Yet you, Yahweh, are in the middle of us, and we are called by your name. Don't leave us. Yahweh says to this people, even so that they have loved to wander, they have not restrained their feet. Therefore Yahweh does not accept them. Now he will remember their iniquity and punish them for their sins. Yahweh said to me, don't pray for this people for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry, and when they offer burnt offerings and meal offerings, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword, by famine, and by pestilence. Then I said, Lord Yahweh, behold the prophets. Tell them, you will not see the sword, neither will you have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place. Then Yahweh said to me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I didn't send them. I didn't command them. I didn't speak to them. They prophesy to you a lying vision, divination and a thing of nothing, and the deceit of their own heart. Therefore Yahweh says concerning the prophets who prophesy in my name, but I didn't send them, Yet they say sword and famine will not be in this land. Those prophets will be consumed by sword and famine. The people to whom they prophesy will be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword. They will have no one to bury them, their wives, their sons or their daughters, for I will pour out their wickedness on them. You shall say this word to them, let my eye run down with tears night and day, and let them not cease. For the virgin daughter of my people is broken with a great breach, with a very grievous wound. If I go out into the field, then behold the slain with the sword. If I enter into the city, then behold those who are sick with famine. For both the prophet and the priest go about in the land, and have no knowledge. Have you utterly rejected Judah? Has your soul loathed Zion? Why have you struck us, and there is no healing for us? We looked for peace, but no good came, and for a time of healing, and behold, dismay. We acknowledge, Yahweh, our wickedness, and the iniquity of our fathers, for we have sinned against you. Do not abhor us for your name's sake. Do not disgrace the throne of your glory. Remember and don't break your covenant with us. Are there any among the vanities of the nations that can cause rain, or can the sky give showers? Aren't you he, Yahweh our Lord? Therefore we will wait for you have made all these things. Then Yahweh said to me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind would not turn toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go. It will happen when they ask, where shall we go? That you shall tell them, Yahweh says, such as are for death, to death, such as are for the sword, to the sword, such as are for the famine, to the famine, and such as are for captivity, to captivity. I will appoint over them 4 kinds, says Yahweh, the sword to kill, the dogs to tear, the birds of the sky, and the animals of the earth to devour and to destroy. I will cause them to be tossed back and forth among all the kingdoms of the earth, because of Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem. For who will have pity on you, Jerusalem? Who will mourn you? Who will come to ask of your welfare? You have rejected me, says Yahweh. You have gone backward. Therefore I have stretched out my hand against you and destroyed you. I am weary of showing compassion. I have winnowed them with a fan in the gates of the land. I have bereaved them of children. I have destroyed my people. They didn't return from their ways. Their widows are increased more than the sand of the seas. I have brought on them against their mother of the young men a destroyer at noonday. I have caused anguish and terrors to fall on her suddenly. She who has borne 7 languishes. She has given up the spirit. Her sun has gone down while it was yet day. She has been disappointed and confounded. I will deliver their residue to the sword before their enemies, says Yahweh. Woe is me, my mother, that you have borne me a man of strife, and a man of contemplation to the whole earth. I have not let, neither have men lent to me, yet every one of them curses me. Yahweh said, most certainly I will strengthen you for good. Most certainly I will cause the enemy to make supplication for you in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. Can one break iron? even iron from the north, and bronze. I will give your substance and your treasures for a plunder without price, and that for all your sins, even in the borders. I will make them pass with your enemies into a land which you didn't know, for a fire is kindled in my anger. Yahweh, you know, remember me, visit me, and avenge me of my persecutors. You are patient, so don't take me away. Know that for your sake I have suffered reproach. Your words were found, and I ate them. Your words were to me a joy, and the rejoicing of my heart, for I am called by your name, Yahweh, God of armies. I didn't sit in the assembly of those who make merry and rejoice. I sat alone, for you have filled me with indignation. Why is my pain perpetual, and my wound incurable, which refuses to be healed? Will you indeed be to me as a deceitful brook, like waters that fail? Therefore Yahweh says, if you return, then I will bring you again, that you may stand before me. And if you take out the precious from the vial, you will be as my mouth. They will return to you, but you will not return to them. I will make you, to this people, a fortified bronze wall. They will fight against you, but they will not prevail against you, for I am with you to save you and to deliver you, says Yahweh. I will deliver you out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem you out of the hand of the terrible. Then Yahweh's word came to me, saying, you shall not take a wife, neither shall you have sons or daughters in this place. For Yahweh says concerning the sons, and concerning the daughters who are born in this place, and concerning their mothers who bore them, and concerning their fathers who became their fathers in this land, they will die grievous deaths. They will not be lamented, neither will they be buried. They will be as dung on the surface of the ground. They will be consumed by the sword and by famine. Their dead bodies will be food for the birds of the sky and for the animals of the earth. For Yahweh says, don't enter into the house of mourning. Don't go to lament. Don't bemoan them. For I have taken away my people from this people, says Yahweh, even loving kindness and tender mercies. Both great and small will die in this land. They will not be buried. Men won't lament for them, cut themselves, or make themselves bald for them. Men won't break bread for them in mourning, to comfort them for the dead. Men won't give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mother. You shall not go into the house of feasting to sit with them, to eat and to drink. For Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, says, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place, before your eyes, and in your days, the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride. It will happen, when you tell this people all the words, and they ask you, why has Yahweh pronounced all this great evil against us? Or, what is our iniquity? Or, what is our sin that we have committed against Yahweh our God? Then you shall tell them, because your fathers have forsaken me, says Yahweh, and have walked after other gods, have served them, have worshipped them, have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. You have done evil more than your fathers, for behold, you each walk after the stubbornness of his evil heart, so that you don't listen to me. Therefore I will cast you out of this land into the land that you have not known, neither you nor your fathers. There you will serve other gods day and night, for I will show you no favor. Therefore behold the days to come, says Yahweh, that it will be no more said, as Yahweh lives, who brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But as Yahweh lives, who brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the countries where he had driven them, I will bring them again into their land that I gave their fathers. Behold, I will send for many fishermen, says Yahweh, and they will fish them up. Afterward I will send for many hunters, and they will hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and out of the clefts of the rock. For my eyes are on all their ways. They are not hidden from my face. Their iniquity isn't concealed from my eyes. First, I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have polluted my land with the carcass of their detestable things, and have filled my inheritance with their abominations. Yahweh, my strength, my stronghold, and my refuge in the day of my affliction. The nations will come to you from the ends of the earth, and will say, Our fathers have inherited nothing but lies, vanity, and things in which there is no profit. Should a man make to himself gods, which yet are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will cause them to know this once. I will cause them to know my hand and my might. Then they will know my name is Yahweh. The sin of Judah is written with pen of iron, and with the point of a diamond. It is engraved in the tablet of their heart, and on the horns of your altars. Even their children remember their altars, and their Asherah poles by the green trees on the high hills. My mountain in the field. I will give your substance and all your treasures for plunder, and your high places because of sin throughout all your borders. You, even of yourself, will discontinue from your heritage that I gave you. I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you don't know, for you have kindled a fire in my anger, which will burn forever. Yahweh says, Cursed is the man who trusts in man, relies on strength of flesh, and whose heart departs from Yahweh. For he will not be like a bush in the desert, and will not see when good comes, but will inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, an uninhabited salt land. Blessed is the man who trusts in Yahweh, and whose confidence is in Yahweh. For he will be as a tree planted by the waters, who spreads out its roots by the river, and will not fear when heat comes, but its leaf will be green, and will not be concerned in the year of drought, and it won't cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things, and it is exceedingly corrupt. Who can know it? I, Yahweh, search the mind. I try the heart, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings. As the partridge that sits on eggs, which she has not laid, so is he who gets rich, and not by right. In the middle of the day they will leave him. At his end he will be a fool. A glorious throne set on high from the beginning is the place of our sanctuary. Yahweh, the hope of Israel, all who forsake you will be disappointed. Those who depart from me will be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahweh, the spring of living waters. Heal me, O Yahweh, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved, for you are my praise. Behold, they ask me, where is Yahweh's word? Let it be fulfilled now. As for me, I have not hurried from being a shepherd after you. I haven't desired the woeful day. You know that which comes out of my lips was before your face. Don't be a terror to me. You are my refuge in the day of evil. Let them be disappointed who persecute me. But don't let me be disappointed. Let them be dismayed, but don't let me be dismayed. Bring on them the day of evil, and destroy them with a double destruction. Yahweh said this to me: Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, through which the kings of Judah come in, and by which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem. Tell them, Hear Yahweh's word, you kings of Judah, all Judah, and all inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates. Yahweh says, Be careful and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Don't carry a burden out of your house on the Sabbath day. Don't do any work, but make the Sabbath day holy as I commanded your fathers. But they didn't listen. They didn't turn their ear, but made their neck stiff, that they might not hear and might not receive instruction. It will happen if you listen diligently to me, says Yahweh, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but to make the Sabbath day holy, and do no work therein. Then there will enter in by the gates of this city kings and princes sitting on David's throne, riding in chariots and on horses, they and their princes, the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city will remain forever. They will come from the cities of Judah and from the places around Jerusalem, and this city will remain forever. From the lowlands, from the hill country, and from the south, bringing burnt offerings, sacrifices, meal offerings, and frankincense, and bringing sacrifices of thanksgiving to Yahweh's house. But if you will not listen to me, to make the Sabbath day holy, and not to bear a burden, and enter in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then I will kindle a fire in its gates, and will devour the palaces of Jerusalem. It will not be quenched.